Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be testing out some of Turbodork's new colours, and as you can see we've got Absinthe in front of us here, we have Bubblegum Crisis, Korekiyo, Multipass, Pearly Gates, All That Glitters, and Pearl Grey. The most important thing to note with these metallic paints is they need to be worked on over a gloss black base. I'm using Alclad 2's Lacquer Primer glossy black base. As you can see, I'm building up the glossy black base really slowly, and I'm working at about 18 psi and 3 to 4 inches away from the model. I'm constantly moving the airbrush and the miniature to make sure that the paint doesn't build up all in one area too quickly and lead to drip marks or wet surfaces that would take longer to dry than it normally would if you're moving the miniature. We're going to start off by using Turbodork's All That Glitters. Turbodork paints have a little ball bearing agitator in each one of the bottles. It's very important that you shake the bottles absolutely vigorously to make sure that the ball bearing is hitting the top and the bottom of the bottle. The louder the ball bearing seems to get, and the quicker that it hits the top and the bottom, the more so you'll know that the paint's been thoroughly mixed. Now we're spraying Turbodork's Multipass, and as before I'm building up the paint layer nice and smoothly and slowly. I'm working at about 3 to 4 inches away, and if I don't get a really smooth even coverage on the first passes, then I'll let it dry and I'll come back in with a second pass to make sure that I've got a nice even smooth coverage on the miniature using the Multipass paint, and that goes with all the paints that are in this range. Here you can see that I'm coming back in with a second pass of the Multipass paint, and it's going to give it a nice even smooth coverage. And here we can see what the miniature looks like after it's been thoroughly dried. Now we're going to paint using Turbodork's Pearl Grey. Exactly the same as before guys, building up the paint layer nice and slowly, and as you can see it gives a lovely finish. This is one of my favourite paints in the range. And here we can see what Pearl Gates looks like after it has thoroughly dried. Now we're going to test Turbodork's Absinthe. And here we can see what the absinthe looks like after it had thoroughly dried. Now we're testing Turbodork's Pearly Gates. And here you can see what Pearly Gates looks like after thoroughly drying. Now we're going to spray Turbodork's Life on Mars, another one of my favourite colours in the new paint range that they've released recently. And here we can see what life on Mars looks like after thoroughly drying. Now we're testing probably my absolute favourite of all of the new colours, Bubblegum Crisis, which is a colour shifting paint and it looks absolutely fantastic. Here we can see what Bubblegum Crisis looks like, fully finished and thoroughly dried. As you can see, that colour shift looks absolutely fantastic. I'd love to see a whole chapter of Space Marines painted up in Bubblegum Crisis. I'm giving myself ideas here, guys. Last but certainly not least, guys, is Korekiyo, and I believe this is the closest paint that Turbodork do to an Alpha Legion paint. I think it looks absolutely fantastic and I think it would be perfect for Alpha Legion, but you let me know in the comments field down below. And here we can see what Korekiyo looks like after it's thoroughly dried on the miniature. And as I mentioned a moment ago, I really do think this would be a fantastic colour to use for Alpha Legion. But again, let me know what you think in the comments field down below. Okay guys, so I've tested 8 out of I think a possible 12 of their new colours. I do apologise that I may have left out a few, but I only prepared 8 miniatures for this test. But I have tested a whole range of the Turbodork paints before this video. I'll put a link in the description box below to all the other colours that I've tested as well, so if you want to check out that video after watching this video, I highly recommend it. A huge thank you to Turbodork for sending me the paints out for review. I think they're absolutely fantastic. They look very, very good. The bottles are so well designed with the labels. They also have agitators, which make mixing fantastic. But let me know what you think of the paints in the comments field down below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.